Hey friends, and welcome back to the vlog. Today is going to be a sit down video of answering all of your questions. I asked over on the community tab about a week ago, do you have any questions? I have made several Q&As on my channel, but it's been a long time since I have done one, so I thought this would be a good time to do it since it's been a while. And I got a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to get through them as quick as I can, because I know videos can sometimes get a little boring when they're a little bit too long. So I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet, answer all of your questions today. But first, if you're new here, my name is Shasta. I'm a homeschooling mom to 9 girls. My husband and I have been married for 18 years. We are expecting our 10th baby, which is a baby boy. I'm 25 weeks along. So I would love if you would just subscribe and become part of our YouTube family here. I love to just share day in the life things, motherhood, grocery hauls, recipes, and just sharing our day-to-day life with y'all. I know a lot of you are just curious about large families and how it works and pregnancy updates, all that, so I love to share that with y'all. So anyway, I hope that you stick around and become part of our YouTube family. Anyway, I'm going to jump straight into the questions so that we don't take too long today. I'm actually doing this in my car because it's quiet. Emily had an orthodontist appointment this morning, and it's an hour-long appointment, so I thought that's the perfect opportunity for me to be able to do this Q&A. So I'm going to get started on that now. All right, the first question says, what are your top 3 books for homeschooling moms to read? So I've got to be honest with you, I don't do a whole lot of reading. I do like to read like blogs and things like that on my phone, but as far as like sitting down with an actual book, I don't have a lot of time to do that, and I've never been like a huge reader in that area, and that's okay. But I have read a couple which I really like, and one of them is Teaching from Rest. I actually read that book front to back. It was an excellent book. And then there was another one that I read, and honestly I cannot remember the name of it, but if I can find it in my Amazon links, I will link both of those books down below for y'all. But I do remember Teaching from Rest just because it was such a good book, and like I said, I'm not a big reader, but I couldn't put that one down because it was so good. So if I had to recommend just one, that would be the one. All right, it says, I know you've been homeschooling for a long time. What advice would you give someone who is homeschooling younger kids? Oh my goodness, that would be just to enjoy it. Like, I did not realize how fast our homeschooling journey would go. Like, I have a daughter that's a senior this year, which is like so bittersweet. Like, I am so thankful that I have been able to homeschool her since kindergarten, but I'm also really sad that she's not little anymore and we can't do all the like elementary things. I'm thankful that I still have little kids in elementary school. But yeah, it just goes by so fast. So that is my biggest tip, is to enjoy it. Take it day by day and enjoy the little moments. So that is my biggest tip on homeschooling little kids. Also says, if you go back, what advice would you have given yourself, or what lesson did you learn? And I guess it would be the same thing, was to just take it slower, really enjoy it, soak it in, because it doesn't last. And then she also said, this is my first time commenting on your video. I really enjoy your videos. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I love when some of you comment, and a lot of you are new when you comment. I love getting to know you, so thank you for that. The next question says, I am wondering about post-high school plans for your oldest daughter and the other girls too. Is she considering college or anything like that? She seems quite talented with her music, and she is very, very talented with her music, actually. She could play the violin. She took violin lesson for years, and she could also play the piano. She taught herself to play the piano. She actually plays the piano on our worship team at church, and does an excellent job with that. But after high school, she really does not have any interest in going to college for any of that, but she does plan to continue to play worship music in church. But she has already started what she's going to be doing after high school, and that is a kennel business, taking care of dogs, boarding dogs. She actually gets business for that now. We have her place set up where she can take animals in, and she's doing really well with it. So she plans to just expand that after high school. So that is what she will be doing. My other girls are still thinking and praying about what they want to do. My second oldest, she's 16. She has been talking about being a cosmetologist for about a year now. So that is what she's wanting to do. And then the rest of them are still just kind of thinking about it and praying about it. Next question says, will any of the older girls be present for the birth of this baby boy? And actually they will not. None of my girls have actually ever been in the room when I have given birth. We always have a hospital birth. I would love to try home birth, but there's just parts of it that make me nervous. So we will be having a hospital birth again, Lord willing. And no, they will not be present. It's usually Josh and my mom and sister have been there a lot, but these last 2 births, with restrictions and things like that, only Josh could be there. And honestly, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed just him and I being there together during the birth. So I'm thinking that's going to be the same way for this baby boy. It'll just be him and I when we deliver. All right, next one says, which snacks are your must-haves for a road trip? A road trip, I always try to pack like crackers and things like that. The kids love like snacky food, so I try to do like crackers or goldfish, Nutri-Grain bars, bananas, something easy just to hand to the back seat and let them have a little snack. So it's always just kind of like convenience foods, really. And it says, if you are cooking for only yourself, what is your favorite dish to make? For myself, it would be any kind of chicken pasta. I really love like, it's like tomato penne chicken pasta. Really good. Some of my girls actually like that too, but any kind of pasta I would totally go for. Also says, which grade in school did you think was the most difficult? Probably 6th grade, because you're just in a new place from elementary school and it's really hard to get to know other people. That was a hard time for me, so I would say 6th grade for me. It says, if you could vacation anywhere in the world, where would you vacation? I've said this before, but I would love to visit the Amish country in Pennsylvania. That's just very interesting to me. So I'd love to visit there one day. It says, are you named after anyone? If not, how did your parents think of your name? I am not named after anyone. I actually did not know anyone named Shasta for years until I was an adult, and then heard of a couple of Shastas. So I still don't know anybody personally named Shasta, but I have heard of a few. So I'm not named after anyone. And honestly, my mom said that she liked the name on the soda can, Shasta, so that's what she went with because she liked that name so much. So I am Shasta Nicole. So yeah, I'm not named after anyone, but my mom just liked the name. Next question says, have you had any issues with blood pressure during your pregnancy? My first daughter, yes, my blood pressure stayed really high at the end of my pregnancy, which I think is a really common thing if you're having your first baby. I was actually borderline preeclampsia with her, so we did have to induce early because of that, but thankfully every baby after that I have not dealt with high blood pressure. I have dealt with a little bit of low blood pressure since then, especially when I'm in labor. It'll kind of drop. Other than that, thankfully, I haven't had any blood pressure issues. All right, this question says, was there ever a time y'all thought you were done having kids? Actually, when I was pregnant with number 5, I honestly thought, we were going to be done number 5. I just felt that was the time I felt like really overwhelmed. I don't know. And I just felt like that was going to be it. But thankfully, the Lord had other plans. Actually, what's funny is after I had number 5, I found out I was expecting number 6 4.5 months later. So they're actually my 2 closest girls, but they're best friends. They're now 8 and 9. I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. So I'm thankful that the Lord had different plans than I did and that He changed my heart on that. It says, also, do you get any criticism for having a large family and how do you respond? Thankfully, I do not, especially from family, friends, anything like that. If I do get any criticism, it's from here on YouTube. And the only response I give to that is a delete. I don't give any thought to that. I don't care. Those people are either responding out of just anger, jealousy, something, because for you to criticize a complete stranger, I don't know why you would do that. So I just delete that comment and I move on with my life. So that is how I handle criticism. I am following God's calling on my life, and that's what matters. So anybody's opinion doesn't matter to me. All right, next question says, is your pregnancy with a boy different in your pregnancy with a girl? Any different cravings with this pregnancy? So I think I've said this before, but yes, I have felt different this pregnancy in several different ways. So at the beginning, I was extremely tired. I mean, to the point of my husband thought I was probably getting depressed because I just laid on the couch so much. Any chance I got, I would lay down on the couch. And even now in my 2nd trimester, I have days where I'm like dragging. I just have to sit down just because I'm so fatigued in this pregnancy. So that was a big clue. Also, this pregnancy, I'm carrying very low because with all of my girls, I carry up high, like right up under my ribs. This baby is low, like really low. So when he drops at the end of this pregnancy, oh my word, I don't know how much slower my tummy can go, but that has been different. And then cravings this pregnancy, it's crazy, but I don't really like chocolate ice cream anymore. I mean, I like it, but it's not like one of my favorites. And I've always loved like chocolate ice cream. I like more spicy things with him. Let's see what else. At the beginning of my pregnancy, I really wanted watermelon and salt. So I would say less sweets with this pregnancy than with my girls. I know that's probably another old wives' tale, but it's been true for me. So that would be the things I would say different this pregnancy. All right, the next question says, how do you keep your stuff organized while having so many in a room? She also has 9 kids. And that's always like something that I'm constantly changing, because I feel like we're just always getting stuff in the house, which brings clutter. So I'm constantly like going through my kids' stuff, what they don't play with anymore, what's broken, and getting that out. That helps a lot. But I just have toy boxes, and when they clean their room up, they just throw their toys in their toy boxes. I don't have anything like organized, like this is your Barbies, this is your Barbie clothes. We have actually tried that. The kids pull it out, and then it's just a big mess again. So it's just easier to throw everything in just a toy box all together. And that's what we've been doing. I'm trying to limit like teddies and things, because that, with so many little kids, that brings in a lot of clutter. So I'm trying to get my kids to where they find like their most special couple of teddies, and we keep that. And then outfits per kid. 3 of my girls are actually in the same exact size, which is kind of nice, because then they can just share the clothes. I don't have to keep quite as many outfits. They can just switch back and forth, but they do get worn out a lot quicker like that. So I don't really have a number of outfits that I keep. I just keep like lots of black leggings on hand, because they wear a lot of those. A lot of like either t-shirts in the summertime or sweaters in the wintertime, for each kid, a few each. So not really a certain amount on that, but I try not to like overdo it. But I try to have enough where they can have enough clothes for the week. Will there be new rooming arrangements once baby boy arrives? How long we keep him in your room? So any baby that I've ever had, we keep the baby in our room for the first year of its life. The baby sleeps with me, the bassinet, and then eventually goes to a crib beside my bed. So that's where the baby will be for the first year. And then after that, he will move in the room with Millie, which is our smallest. She's 2 years old. She'll be 3 by the time the baby's here. And those two will share a room for a while. And then after that, we'll decide what to do, because I know once he's older, he'll need his own space. And we'll just go from there when that time comes. But while he's little, Millie and him will be sharing a room. And I will actually hopefully soon be showing y'all like room tours of how I have everything laid out, because I told y'all that we switched rooms. So I want to show that to y'all very soon. This one says, what is your favorite meal to cook? Probably anything in the crock pot, just because that's so easy. I love to throw roast in the crock pot, or beef stew in the crock pot, chicken in the crock pot. So I guess that would be my favorite. I would say, I guess I'm just going to say like roast and veggies is my favorite, because that's probably the thing I cook the most. It's like a big staple in our house. So I love to cook that. And the next one says, do you have favorite Bible verse? I actually have several, but I'm really loving all of Psalms 91. If you haven't read that, I encourage you to go read Psalms 91. Just read the whole thing. It's wonderful. I love it. I would love to memorize all of Psalms 91. So that's one of my favorites. Next one says, what curriculum do you use for your elementary age kids? I use teaching textbooks for math. I use Bob Jones for everything else. But I also use Explode the Code, and then I use a Reason for writing, for like their handwriting. So kind of like a mix of things, but that's everything that I use for all of my elementary kids. We also really love the Who Was books. I keep a stash of those upstairs in our bookshelves. And once in a while, I'll get the little kids to go pick out a new book that they want to read, and they'll read through that. I have actually done that since my older girls were elementary school. We love the Who Was books. All right, the next question says, are your teenage girls looking forward to courting or group dating? Any hoping to have a large family one day? So my oldest daughter actually does have a boyfriend. She's 18. That they can sometimes go out to eat together, or he comes over to have dinner with us. And then any hoping to have a large family, I would say, if I had to guess, 2 of my girls would want a large family, and that would be Allie, my second daughter, and then Holly, my 4th daughter. They both, I think they love babies more than any of the kids in the family, so I could see those two as of right now. Some of my little kids, as they get older, they could show interest in that, but I think they would have a large family out of all of my kids. Next question says, do you think y'all are in your forever home? It's a beautiful place inside and out. Thank you so much. And yes, I do. As of right now, I would say yes, I think we are. We're pretty settled. We have plenty of room for everybody. There are changes that I would like to make over time. I would like a bigger kitchen. We have a really small kitchen. I would like a little bit more laundry space. It's working. We just have a washer and dryer and then doors that shut over that, but I would love like just a little bit bigger walk-in laundry room and a bigger kitchen. That would be the only two things that I would change, because we have plenty of space everywhere else. I'm very thankful for it. So yes, I would say it is our forever home, of course, unless the Lord decides to move us or change that. As of now, I would say yes. Next question says, how does your older girls feel about being homeschooled? They do not complain about it. They love being homeschooled. My oldest daughter is taking a couple classes from a private school around here, and they do have that option. My high schoolers have that option. If they want to join a private school for a couple classes, they can do that, and she wanted to this year, and it has worked out perfect. My 10th grader may take some classes next year, so that's kind of how we do it. But yeah, they've always loved being homeschooled and really haven't had any complaints about it, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Next question says, if Erin was a girl, what would you have named her? So we actually did, you'll have to go back and watch these videos, but we actually at 7 weeks were told we were having a girl. We had a gender reveal that said girl. So for weeks we thought we were having a girl, and we had a name picked out. We were going to name her Josephine Hope and call her Josie. But when I had another blood test at 12 weeks, it said boy, and then we had ultrasound, 2 ultrasounds since then to confirm it's definitely a boy. So our first blood test was wrong. So her name was going to be Josephine Hope, and actually, this is where I can go ahead and tell y'all, I'm not sure if his name's going to be Aaron or not. Josh and I have been talking about names, and we may have another one picked out, but I'm not going to share it just yet until we're sure on it. If y'all remember with Millie, bless her heart, she was going to be like a Kelsey, and she was going to be a Josie before we finally decided on Millie. So sometimes we go through names and think, oh, this is the name, and then a month or two down, we're like, we've been saying the name, and we're not really sure. So that's kind of how it is right now. We're kind of on the fence. But if we do change it and we know something for certain, I'll be sure to share it with y'all. All right, this one says favorite restaurant for date night and to eat as a family. For date night, I love Olive Garden or Longhorn Steakhouse. And usually when we go out to eat as a family, it's Mexican food, just because we all agree on it. We all love Mexican food, so usually that's our family restaurant. Next one says favorite homeschool curriculums for high school. So we still love teaching textbooks even into high school. We also love all things algebra. If you don't want to use teaching textbooks, we love both of those. And then we're also using The Good and the Beautiful for English. We're using, it's just a mixture of things. I think it was a Becca for health. We like Progny Press for literature-based stuff. So we just use like a mix of things for high school as well, just like we do elementary school. It's just whatever curriculum works for that child, that is what we use. It says, were any of the girls sad about not getting another sister? Not at all. They were excited when they thought it was a girl, but they were excited when they found out it was a boy. We're all just over the moon excited, and we wouldn't change it for anything. Next question says, have you ever been to Wisconsin? How many states have you been in? I've actually never been to Wisconsin. And I guess you could say I'm kind of like a homebody because I have not been to many places. I live in South Carolina, so I've been to Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. And that's about it. I have not really been anywhere too extravagant. We don't take a whole lot of vacations. We try to take 1 or 2 a year, but it's usually pretty local, especially we have a lot of kids. We don't like to travel a whole lot, so not many places. All right, next question says, with all of your beautiful daughters, is Josh nervous to be a boy dad? No, he hasn't said that he's nervous or anything like that. We're really excited. We don't know what it's going to be like to have a boy. We're so excited to meet him and like to see his personality and to see the difference it is between boys and girls. So we're excited. Next one says, are you going to do a baby registry? I actually already have. It's from Amazon. You're not pressured to get anything off of that list, but I've had several of you to ask me. So I will link that down below if you want to look at it. Like I said, no pressure whatsoever, but we do appreciate anything that you want to send. Next question says, what is your favorite chapter in the Bible? I don't know about a chapter, but if I had to pick a favorite book, it would probably be Romans. I really love Romans. It's a really good book. So I would check that one out and just read through it. I've read through Romans several times and I love it. Next one says, favorite high school science. I forgot to mention this, but we love Apologia for high school science. All right, this one says, maybe I missed it, but what happened to your dog, Belle? Oh my gosh. We had Belle, over a year ago? And I have mentioned a couple of times on my channel, but we actually gave her to one of our good friends, and she has her, and she actually has a YouTube channel herself, and her name is The Nixon Nook. You can look her up, and she sometimes shows Belle on her channel. She's actually not Belle anymore, she's Coco. She changed her name, but she has gotten so big and so cute, and actually Kylie, with her pet sitting, has got to watch Coco at our house, and we've got to see her sometimes, so that's where she's at. Next question says, what is your favorite part about homeschooling your kids and your least favorite? So I have so many favorites. Just being with my kids, being able to teach them scripture and Bible, and being able to help them grow in the Lord, being able to think outside the box for when they're older, being able to pour into whatever it is that they want to do after high school, and just being able to focus in on that thing. And just so many favorites. A least favorite? I don't know if I have one. I guess if I had to pick a least favorite, it would just be the attitude sometimes, which we're not going to change that. I mean, even adults, we sometimes have attitudes, but I guess that would be my least favorite, is when they just don't want to do school and they have a bad attitude about it, but that's going to happen. Next question says, do you have any dogs or cats? No cats. I am not a cat person. If you're a cat person, I'm so sorry, but I since I was a little girl, I've never liked cats, so that's one thing we do not own is a cat. But a dog, we do have an outside dog. His name is Willie. We've had him since, I think, 2020, so I think March will be 4 years. March or April will be 4 years since we've had him. And he is a lab border collie mix. And then my daughter, that's 18, she has a dog of her own. She's had him for about a year. He is a basset hound. His name is Mac. And then we have lots of chickens. We have had chickens for years and years. That is one of my most favorite things to have, is our chickens. I love our chickens. They're just fun to have, and then they produce eggs for us. We eat a lot of eggs in our house, so it's just nice to have chickens. I think that's one thing we'll always have. I just love them. Next question says, have you started buying boy clothes? Actually, I have. Sometimes I cannot resist when I go into a store or I'm shopping online. So I have bought him a few newborn outfits here and there. But yeah, it's so different buying for a boy. I always want to hit, like, when I'm shopping online, I just want to, you know, go to the girl newborn section, but I'm like, wait, I'm shopping for a boy now. So it's so different shopping for a boy after 18 years of shopping for a girl. So I've had fun doing that, and I picked up a few things at the consignment store when I get some cute stuff in. So I've bought a few things here and there. And then the next question says, is his name going to be Aaron? Which I answered that earlier in this video. It may change. We did announce that his name was going to be Aaron Joshua. I'm pretty sure his middle name will continue to be Joshua. It's just his first name that might change. Like I said, I will share that with y'all. And then the next question, I think everybody's wanting to know, will we have another baby after this one is born? And I'm always just trying to get through, like, the pregnancy I'm in, and, you know, having the baby and spending time with the baby. So I cannot tell you yes or no if we will have another one. I am 37. I will be 38 in April. So I am getting older. And I've never, since the Lord changed my heart on children, I have never wanted to say, no, we're not having any more. Just because I feel like if I would have said that with number 5, then I wouldn't have known the blessings of number 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and now going to be 10. So I prefer the Lord have his way in my life rather than me taking control of that. I know every family is different and needs to pray about that. But for me, that is my heart on children. They're a blessing to me. Been nothing but a blessing, so I'm very grateful for that. So to say yes or no, I'm not gonna say that, because I don't know. I'm just gonna say the Lord is in control. I don't know. But anyway, that I saved that question for last for y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this Q&A. I try to get through it quick. I think I had like 30 something questions, so sorry if I was talking a little bit fast. But like I said, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button before you leave today. Give this video a thumbs up, and we will talk to you in the comments. Bye, friends.